Hi, my name is Jarrad. I'm the founder of Status and Logos and the director of the Institute of Free Technology. We build privacy-preserving technologies to secure your civil liberties. Really, privacy is a means to an end, right? It is about freedom. Things that we believe in the West are no longer true today. I've seen them gradually erode over the past 20 years. Post 9/11, and we need to make a concerted effort to restore what we once believed was true of our societies. Privacy is necessary for functioning democracies or even a high trust society. But I think that one thing that comes up with privacy that a lot of people say when privacy that they have nothing to hide. The thing is, it's not really about what you have to hide, but how the data you produce is used against you. Today, owners of big tech platforms can psychologically manipulate you and move you and sway public opinion. And so that's actually what matters, is that they actually can change your behavior algorithmically, regardless of whether you have something to hide or not. In many ways, I think that being a cypherpunk now is to really be a steward or a torch holder and take the ideas and values and principles that were recognized and held by, the previous generation and carry them forward. But this means being a guardian of liberty, of resisting tyranny, and establishing new parallel systems. The thing for the cypherpunk today is it's moved beyond just creating technology. We recognize that we can't just fix the money to fix the state. We need to become more people-centric. We need to become more focused on civic action, rather than just pure direct action through cryptography. I mean, what's great is that there's so many new privacy tools that are coming out now, and a public consciousness that's being raised around privacy tools. So it's hard for me to recommend one or any of them. And of course, I work on our own privacy tools, so I'm biased towards those. However, I'm incredibly love projects like Monero, projects like DarkFi. I think Proton Mail has done a great job at popularizing PGP, for example. Projects like LibreWolf that's tried to make a more private browser. The list goes on. NIM, the VPN, and both the mixed nets. Tor, of course. The list goes on. So how can we attract more people to this software? I think one is getting away from this sort of dark, black and white colors, because I think for the average person, it is a little intimidating. I think it speaks very well to a small niche, and it's great to start at that point. But if we need to broaden our horizons, it needs to be more accessible in terms of just the branding of things, right? I think that what I hope as the sort of macro events in society change, more people become more and more conscious of why they might want to have privacy online. And so they will naturally be looking for these solutions. And privacy technologies are just a means to an end. It's really about what they're actually activating or employing. And I think with the advent of things like central bank digital currencies, systems of total surveillance and total control, people will naturally see these black swan events and find alternatives. So on how the web, how I imagine the web to be, that's a huge topic. I'm not sure if I can summarize. I've done a talk on this actually, talking about some older ideas of the web by directional links rather than just hyperlinks. But I think what really matters is removing the information asymmetries by our neo-feudal tech lords, right, that are now in conjunction with governments. The vast majority of people being put through our communication mediums and being manipulated in a variety of different ways, whether it's being memory holds or coerced into thinking certain ideas or changing their behaviors. And so we need to create a web that is much more like what we hoped in the 90s, that is more flat and more decentralized, it's more closer to the local communities that, and not at the control of just a small minority. So that in terms of the ideal structure of society, that's really, really hard to say, right? In many ways, I think the ideal structure of society is kind of what we have today. It's just that the institutions are captured themselves, and it's been weighed down by a whole bunch of policies and the debasement of our fiat currencies. So I'm an advocate of the parallel polis strategy. This is a strategy that's employed by Charter 77 and the parallel polis movement in Czechoslovakia, the Hindu nationalist movement at RSS in post-colonial India. It was also implemented by post-communist Hungary with civic circles. And this is building civic society back up, away from the atomized liberal decay of local governing institutions and developing direct democratic systems. And if we can build out these kind of support networks, I think that we can actually catch a lot of people when inflation gets too bad. And what that evolves into, I don't know. I think that I view blockchains as a form of parliamentary sovereignty, even though it seems more automated. It is an order in of itself and a new sovereign. And so I think that blockchain-based communities and the governance around them will probably represent the successor to nation states.